Welcome to Bloomington Today. I'm Kaylin Cockriel. Thanks for joining us. Today we'll start with a very exciting update on a recent project Bloomington Public Health has been working on. You may remember from past Bloomington Today shows a story highlighting a group of students and teachers from Richfield's South Education Center Alternative School. That group came up with a recipe called porcupine sliders as a healthy addition to their school lunch program. This spiced up version of a turkey burger has gained national attention after it was entered into the Recipes for Healthy Kids program as part of Michelle Obama's initiative to fight childhood obesity. The recipe made it into the top 15 semifinalists, and after nearly a month of online voting and a cooking demonstration for a panel of judges, the results are in. Porcupine sliders beat out 240 other entries in the grain category and is one of 3 national finalists in the contest.
Now it's kind of, they have confidence, they're excited about their recipe. They will tell you all about it, and they are proud to show off the techniques they've learned in cooking and just the nutritional value, and it's just been really neat to see.
The next stop for the students is Grapevine, Texas, where they'll compete for the grand prize of $3,000 to be put towards their school lunch program. Richfield's South Education Center Alternatives Healthy Living Initiative all started with a garden on campus. The initiative was funded by the statewide Health Improvement Program, or SHIP grant. Bloomington Public Health is the lead agency for SHIP in Bloomington, Edina, and Richfield. Best of luck to the students heading to Texas. As always, we'll keep you updated right here on Bloomington Today about the results of the final cook-off set to take place in late July. Gardens around the city are flourishing right now thanks to warm temps and just the right amount of rainfall. The City of Bloomington's community gardens are no exception. This is the scene over at Harrison Park, located at 1701 West 100th Street, just adjacent to the Bloomington Civic Plaza. Onions, tomatoes, rhubarb, and flowers are budding. It's obvious that gardeners renting these plots are out quite often, tending to their plants. Well, we didn't catch any gardeners out today tending to their plants. We ask that everyone continue to tune in to Bloomington Today, where we'll check back on this garden as well as other community gardens throughout the city. Gardening is a great way to get outdoors, get some exercise, while giving residents easier access to locally grown fruits and vegetables. The city added these 28 plots at Harrison Park this year, in addition to 18 additional plots over at Smith Park after officials saw the overwhelming interest in renting a plot in past years. There are 82 plots between Harrison and Smith Park. Those have been sold out, but we'll be checking back to see how things are growing and how gardeners are enjoying the hobby. While it may no longer be National Drinking Water Week, it's always the right time to talk about Bloomington's great tasting water. As part of the city's continued effort to provide residents with the highest quality water, Public Works officials would like to highlight one aspect of the water treatment process many may not know about. Take a look. Bloomington's Sam H. Hobbs drinking water treatment plant receives groundwater from 6 deep municipal wells located around the city. And like anything, those wells need maintenance from time to time.
Over a period of 1 year, we'll draw over 3 billion gallons of water from these aquifers to meet the public's needs. As water is pumped from the wells, small amounts of sand are drawn into the open underground holes. Over time, inherent characteristics of the aquifer, including sand, can significantly start to fill into the holes. Once this starts to happen, we start to see the performance and efficiency drop in our wells.
In the summer of 2010, well number 3, located at 93rd and Normandale Boulevard, began performing poorly. And after a video inspection of the well hole, crews decided a redevelopment was necessary after it was discovered that nearly 300 feet of sand had found its way into the well hole. This is a natural occurrence that happens over time due to erosion of the well walls.
Because the hole had filled in so much, the well driller had decided to use a technique called airlifting to remove the sand from the hole. Airlifting uses a large compressor that forces air into a small diameter pipe that extends to the bottom of the well. A larger diameter pipe encases the small pipe. The air is forced through the pipe, creates rapid mixing of the sand and sediment in the bottom of the well. This violent reaction lifts the sand and sediment up the larger diameter pipe to the ground surface. The air is vented off and the sand and water settles in the bottom of a holding tank that they have sitting outside of the well, and then the clear water from that tank then flows onto the street and into the storm sewer at about a rate of 200 gallons per minute.
The cleaning process can take anywhere between 2 and 4 weeks, and to ensure maximum performance after the procedure is finished, this well was cleaned a second way in addition to airlifting.
Along with the process of airlifting, the well driller decided he needed to use another technique called air surging. Okay, and what this is air is surged into the well at a very high pressure, about 200 psi, and then is quickly released into the hole and then shut off rapidly. This rapid pressure change causes loose material to fall from the adjacent rock formations down inside the well, and then this sediment is then removed by the first procedure they used, airlifting.
Only one other of the 6 wells has needed to be cleaned since their installation in the 1970s, largely due to the weekly investigations of each well to ensure water quality and performance. Ever wonder how your teen would honestly answer questions about drugs, alcohol, and other dangerous behaviors? Now is your chance to get those answers. Bloomington Public Health and Bloomington Public Schools Safe and Drug-Free program is inviting parents, schools, and community members to the We Can Do This Together program, designed to promote safe and drug-free youth. At this event, results from the Minnesota Student Survey will be shared, which asks teens to honestly answer questions, primarily focused on drug, tobacco, alcohol, and violence. Mark your calendars. On Wednesday, July 20th, there'll be 2 opportunities to have your voice heard. The first session is from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and then again from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the Bloomington Public Schools Education Services Center. Registration is easy and required for this event. Go to the website shown on your screen and simply choose which session you'll be attending, as well as the number of people you'll be attending with. It's now time for a short break. When we come back, it's another segment of our pet project, where we'll be joined by Animal Control Officer Bill Forbes. Stay with us.
For the trees on our street.
At my campground.
In my woods.
For the trees in my backyard.
I promise. Promise.
We promise to not move firewood.
Because the emerald ash borer beetle could be inside.
It's killing our trees.
You move firewood, you spread the beetle.
So the wood stays put.
I'll only buy it or I'm gonna burn it. For the trees in my state. In mine.
In mine.
We promise to not move firewood. Join us at stopthebeetle.info.
It's a great day, isn't it?
Yeah. Too bad your boat's gonna sink at 11:05.
Don't come closer. I have rabies.
Don't you wish there were warnings to protect you from life's risks? With diabetes, there is one. It's called A1C, a simple blood test that helps measure your risk of a heart attack and other complications. Learn more at diabetesaA1c.org.
Welcome back to Bloomington Today, everyone. We are now joined by Bloomington Animal Control Officer Bill Forbes. Welcome back, Bill.
Glad to be here.
Thanks for being here for another segment of our pet project. And I'll have to say right now, if you hear meowing in this interview, we do have a special guest that we're going to bring out later. So right now, we want to talk about some issues to be aware of when it comes to your pet in the summertime months. We did a segment of the pet project back in February, kind of talking about the winter months. So now we've seen quite a transition in the weather, and we want to just kind of encourage some owners to remember that there are heat-related illnesses, sunburn, different things that aren't just something that happens to people. Talk a bit about what you should be aware of as a pet owner.
Well, the obvious thing is that most pets dogs especially have generally got pretty thick coats on them, and you know, you can take your winter coat off and put it in the closet. When it gets warm out, the dogs can't do that. In warm weather, they don't sweat the way we do to cool ourselves. They have to pant. That's dependent upon the dew point in the air and so forth. If it's really humid, they're not getting a lot of evaporation, and that's one of the problems with being in a car in warm weather, but also just sitting out in a kennel. If there's not adequate water and shade, there can be problems. We had a dog die a couple weeks ago sitting out in his kennel because it was just hotter than the owner realized it was on the ground in the shelter or in the kennel.
Absolutely, that's awful. Well, another risk in the summertime months are, you know, obvious flea and tick bites. You know, we want to keep our pets guarded against that. Also, there's another pest that can really harm your animal. Talk a bit about what flies can do.
Flies, especially on dogs that are kept outdoors, a lot of the time, if they're in a situation where they can't really get out and about, like in a kennel or on a short chain or something like that, they can start getting fly bites, especially on the ears. Okay. Biting flies like the ears because there's a lot of blood vessels in them. Okay. And you've seen dogs probably with nasty looking scabby things in their ears, and it can actually get pretty nasty. It's very uncomfortable for the dog. There are repellents that you can buy at a pet supply store. Most of those come with kind of a built-in salve to help heal the bites and keep the flies off. Okay. It's good to get that if you're going to have to be keeping your dog outside.
Okay, absolutely. Well, and that can actually, flies can actually take pieces of the dog's ear.
Now, I've got a German Shepherd that we got as a rescue that had been in southern Indiana as a breeding dog, and I think she probably spent all her time out on a concrete slab. And she's got little notches about yay big in both ears. And they're not going to come back. I just tell people when they ask me that it's a special deal that we had done, you know, for Star Trek fans.
Yeah.
But that's not what it is.
Not quite. All right. Well, one more question, and then our guest is very eager to get out and join us. But for those pet owners that haven't guarded their pet against fleas and ticks, it's not too late. They're still in season. What should our owners do?
Well, they should talk to their vet. You know, there are fleas and ticks and other parasitic type pests and worms. All these things, if you're giving your dog or your cat regular vet care, the vet will be sure that you're doing these things. Okay. There are risks to humans too, from deer ticks, for instance, can infect cats and dogs with Lyme disease, as well as a number of other related diseases that are only starting to be seen. And you know, you don't need that. Yeah. Your pet being part of the cycle and possibly, you know, getting you involved too in a bad way. Absolutely. So it's not that terribly expensive to do. It's just something you need to do regularly.
Yeah. Every year. Okay. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, our guest, who is very eager to join us, will be here. Stay with us.
For every pound you lose, that's 4 pounds of pressure off the knees. To find out more, go to fightarthritispain.org.
Welcome back, everyone. Now, as you can see, we have a guest on set with us today. Bill, why don't you tell us a little bit about the kitty we have today?
Well, this is a cat that was brought into the shelter. The person who brought it in said that she had found it and had no idea whose cat it was. We have not been able to locate the owner. It's been here for quite a while now. And this is a good bargain cat from the shelter. We don't normally provide spaying and neutering services, but if an animal is adopted from us, the new owner has to agree to get it fixed within 30 days. Okay. This one's already neutered. It's a neutered male, and he's declawed in the front. Okay. A lot of people like declawed cats, although it's becoming less acceptable, but this guy's already declawed, so there we are.
And a definite lover too, as we can see. Well, for this animal that's up for adoption, and all the animals at the Bloomington Animal Shelter, we're looking for forever homes. Talk a bit about what that is.
Yes, owning an animal is a commitment, and I think more and more people are understanding that. But we still have a problem with people who buy animals or take an animal in on the spur of the moment because they feel bad for the animal, or it's so cute, or all these various different things. And you have to remember that when you adopt an animal, these things live for a while. This guy could live to be 20 years old. He's probably 2 years old right now. Dogs, depending on their size, can live as long in some cases. And you need to be prepared to deal with that.
For the commitment you're making, absolutely. Well, the shelter right now has a few animals. How can people, get down, take a look, find out about, who's available? We encourage people to adopt. The shelters are always have animals that need homes.
Yes, cats especially, but dogs as well, and occasionally we have other animals. The city website, City of Bloomington website, generally has postings when we have animals available. The turnover can be pretty quick, and sometimes they don't get onto the website right away, or they're on the website and they've already gone to a new home before we can get it off, but it's a good place to start.
Okay.
You can also come into the shelter. It's advisable to call first to the animal control number and just make arrangements to make sure somebody will be there.
Okay.
And we're happy to show people around and let them take a look at what we've got. We've got right now, we've got a couple of puppies, several cats and kittens, and the turnover continues.
Okay.
For good and bad.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, if anyone is interested in this particular cat that is yet to be named, we encourage everyone to give the Bloomington Animal Shelter a call and talk to them, see what animals are available, and make an arrangement to stop down. There's plenty of animals to fall in love with. So it's now time for a short break. We'll be right back after these messages.
Not all parks have a superhero on duty, so it's up to you to keep parks and trails smoke-free.
There is also a very attractive extended warranty option that includes free service and parts for the next 5 years. But there's no need for you to get that. You failed to get the test you needed at the doctor that would have detected disease early enough where it could have been treated. So you won't be around in 2 years to see him grow up, which means the warranty would be useless. Okay, sign here, please.
For a list of tests every man should have, go to ahrq.gov.
Welcome back to Bloomington Today. Well, one local Girl Scout troop is giving back to the community by making pets a bit more comfortable while inside the local animal shelter. Every year, this local Girl Scout troop comes up with a service project. The troop brainstorms to find the perfect task that will make the world a better place. And this year's project is geared toward the community's four-legged residents after they chose the theme Animals Around the World.
Animals in the community offer an outlet for humans and animals both, in ensuring that animals and humans are both well taken care of. We have a healthy, happy community.
On June 17th, the troop gathered at the West Bush Lake Park Pavilion to learn all about what exactly an animal control officer does, what tools help him safely catch stray pets and wild animals, as well as proper procedure when handling and feeding a pet. The kids also collected food, cat litter, and made blankets to donate to the animal shelter. Event co-director Tracy Baker hopes the kids will leave this project feeling inspired.
We hope that, one, there's a greater awareness about animals and animal safety, and just that animals are supported as well.
If you're interested in finding out how you can help the Bloomington Animal Shelter, Animal Control Officer Young says the best way is by making a donation. They're always looking for help with items like dog or cat food and kitty litter as well. In addition, monetary donations are always appreciated and accepted. In an effort to ensure that all residents have access to city news and events anywhere you are, the city has in place an online email subscription service, or e-subscribe system. This free subscription service sends email and wireless notifications when updates to popular city pages are posted. More than 4,000 residents have signed up. If you haven't yet, here's how. On the left side of the city's homepage, click the e-subscribe button. At the bottom of the page, enter your email address. Then you can personalize your account by choosing what items you'd like to be alerted to. You can have as few as one item or all of them. From parks and recreation news, police alerts, finance information, road construction, and more. Here's an example. If you'd like to be notified when the newest episodes of this show are posted online, simply click the Bloomington Today box under Webcasts and then click Save. The city would also like to encourage residents to like the city's Facebook page and Twitter feeds. This is yet another way for updates to appear right in your news feed regarding important city news, information, and events. 1 week in May is dedicated in celebration of National Public Works Week. Bloomington would like to encourage residents to recognize the tens of thousands of men and women all over the country who provide and maintain the infrastructure and services known as public works. In honor of Bloomington's Public Works employees, we've created a short video highlighting their vital roles in our community.
It's intense because, we're running back, ripping stuff off, making hydraulic hoses, weaving them through the chassis and whatever needs to be done.
When it snows, the city plow operators aren't the only ones who shift into high gear.
It's like NASCAR. Guys are coming in, they go get a cup of coffee, and we fix a truck. They come in, check up on us, and then we got to get them back out right away because otherwise they're standing around waiting.
The main duties of this lab is really for our city. We are constantly checking water, meaning we're checking it for metals, we're checking it for bacteria. What we're doing is we're making sure that when it leaves the plant, it's safe, and then when it's out in the distribution system, it's safe for our residents.
How do we find them? Either we drive on them or people call in and tell us that there's potholes.
Once the potholes are blown with forced air, they're ready to be filled.
The truck will pull up to the pothole. They turn on the auger delivers the material out, and it goes into a shovel tray. And then from the shovel tray, and put it in the potholes. Then there's another person that comes with a loot, which is a big rake. He rakes it smooth, keeps it a little bit higher depending on the depth of the pothole, and smooths it out, and then the guy in the roller comes on behind him.
My main duties are design and construction of city improvement projects, mostly in stormwater related, but we also review design development plans, do grading and erosion control inspections, and work with other municipalities and agencies on water quality improvements.
I'm a park keeper too in the park maintenance department. During the summertime, I run a large-scale mower and mow irrigated turf areas that they use for athletic fields. In the wintertime, it's primarily snow removal and maintenance of the skating rink areas.
Hello, my name is Chris Thornburg. When it snows in Bloomington, my day starts at 3 a.m. and I'm a snowplow driver.
When most Minnesotans are getting off the road during one of our many winter storms, Bloomington city staff in charge of snow cleanup are getting on. The large road plows aren't hard to miss, but what many people don't notice are the smaller tractors making their way around the more than 250 miles of sidewalks, ensuring they are cleared and able to be used. That's all the time we have for today. To get more information on city projects, parks, road construction, and events, visit the city's website. To check out past Bloomington Today shows or other city productions, visit Bloomington's YouTube channel, accessible right from the city's homepage. That and so much more is online right now at www.ci.bloomington.mn.us. If Facebook or Twitter isn't your thing, sign up for eSubscribe to have updates sent to your email or cell phone. This is Bloomington Today, a presentation of the City of Bloomington's Communications Division. I'm Kaylin Cockriel. Thanks so much for joining us.